Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Diaz. According to the CDC, fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is up to 50 times stronger than heroin, 100 times stronger than morphine, and it's a major contributor to fatal and non-fatal overdoses in the U.S. There are two types of fentanyl, pharmaceutical fentanyl and illegally made fentanyl. Both are considered synthetic opioids. And it is often added to other drugs because of its extreme potency, which makes drugs cheaper, more powerful, more addictive, more dangerous. In Dallas, there are 18 new billboards that have been strategically placed featuring the image of a fentanyl victim, Sammy Chapman. It's a project sponsored by Rachel's Angels. It's a nonprofit that seeks to prevent drug-related deaths among kids. And this is part of a nationwide effort to educate the public about the dangers of fentanyl. Joining us today on the KRLD Afternoon News is Sam Chapman. He is Sammy's father. Thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you for doing the story.
You know, can you tell our listeners a little bit about Sammy?
Well, Sammy was sort of your average teen. He was 16 years old. He played football, went to high school, liked girls, and, was just into a lot of different sports and pretty good in academics. So he'd rather be on the football field. And, we were on lockdown for the COVID, and we thought that our children were safe at home, and that was the one benefit of being there. But it turns out that with social media, you know, um, putting your kids on Snapchat is like dropping them in the worst drug-filled neighborhood and hoping that they navigate it well.
What happened to Sammy?
So a dealer reached out to Sammy on Snapchat with the colorful drug menu using these emojis that they use, and at the bottom it said, his handle and that he delivers. And he delivered a fatal dose of fentanyl to our home, like it was a pizza after we were asleep one night. And we found Sammy dead on the floor on Super Bowl Sunday. Uh, Tried to resuscitate him, and I failed. The EMTs tried, and they failed. And then my wife went on her Instagram to warn the people about this dealer, and some of the media picked it up. And then, this was at the beginning of the fentanyl crisis. No one knew that the social media platforms were dangerous and that fentanyl was in our drug supply. So we started just pushing further and trying to raise awareness, and get a law passed so that parent monitoring software would be on all of these platforms. And if your kid met a drug dealer online, the parent would be notified. If they were typing the word suicide, the parent would be notified. This is called Sammy's Law, and it's going to be introduced into the U.S. Congress in a couple of weeks.
Amazing work that you and your wife and the team around you have done with just such a tragic moment in your life, but trying to bring positivity to others and trying to bring awareness through these billboards to prevent this from happening to another family. Tell me a little bit about how you partnered with Rachel's Angels to get these billboards, and what do these billboards say when people see them?
So Rachel's Angels is run by Cindy DeMeo, a mom who lost her young Rachel, also the way we lost Sammy. And the way she is helping to make sense of it all is to educate the public about the dangers of fentanyl by putting up billboards with children who were lost on the billboard and messages warning people about fentanyl poisoning. So our billboard says, "We lost our child. Don't lose yours. Fentanyl steals teens."
What has it been being a part of this group of parents now, in the time of Sammy's passing? Just, I'm sure in phases, you've had an evolution of this relationship with others.
Yes, well, this is affecting the entire nation. People, rich, poor, all different colors and creeds. It doesn't discriminate. And there have been some parents who have decided to put foundations together to educate, to fight for laws, and they're popping up in states across the country. And we're starting to work together. It turns out that we're a powerful voice when we all come together, and we share grief. And it's not easy to lose a child.
Absolutely not. And these billboards, when you see them, how does it make you feel?
I feel proud. I think he would like the fact that something is being made of his young life, something unexpected, something powerful, and that he didn't die for nothing.
Have you gotten any response from kids on on this entire movement?
Sure, the kids are scared. Everyone used to experiment when we were growing up, and it didn't used to kill you. And now one pill can kill. And so people are aware. In fact, college students who dabble in this stuff intentionally do something crazy. They put a backpack on frontwise so that when they pass out from fentanyl overdose, they fall forward and they don't aspirate what's in their stomach. That's what happened to our son. It's fentanyl makes you stop breathing and you pass out and you vomit. And sometimes it gets caught in your throat, and that's how they die, or just from stopping breathing. Also, now there's something called xylazine or tranq that is in the fentanyl, and that is necrotic. In other words, it eats your limbs, and people are showing up and having to have amputations. It too reduces respiration. So, and there isn't a cure like there is with fentanyl. There's Narcan that can save a life, and Narcan's non-toxic. So if you see someone passed out on the street, there's no harm in helping them with Narcan. It's not like it can hurt anybody. So Trank doesn't have anything like that, and basically we're under attack. China's making these precursor chemicals. The Chapitos are sending it across the border, and our government and our lawmakers aren't doing anything to protect us. And social media is a collaborator. And it turns out that parents are up against big government, international crime, and big corporations. So all we have left is education. And that's why it's important to get this message out, to get the billboards out, and to do what you're doing right now.
Education absolutely is key. You don't know until sometimes it happens to you, unfortunately. And that's like running through a brick wall. Um, I can only imagine all of the stories that you firsthandly have also heard from others affected by this, and how it's just completely changed your world. Thank you for being so open to speak with us today. And we are so sorry for your loss, but we empower you with you trying to save other lives. It's admirable, it's strong, and we're very proud to have someone like you on our show. Thank you so much for the time. Is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know about the fentanyl crisis currently?
Well, don't be confused that it can't happen to you. And now Narcan is available over the counter. So everyone with teens in their life, even if your kid is a sober teen, their friends may not be. And we need this remedy just in case. This is as big a health crisis as COVID these days. So, that's an important piece of information. It just went over the counter. So now you can go out to your drugstore and put it in your car, save a life.
That is Sam Chapman here on the KRLD Afternoon News. And if you visit our website, krld.com, you will also be able to find all of the locations for those 18 billboards here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.